This feels
get there.
very like Parks and Rec, treat yourself. It's like Fan Fest, treat yourself. Face tattoos, treat yourself. Burritos, treat yourself. Like that's the level. Bring your food, bring whatever you need to get through Fan Fest.
Yes.
It is. It's our treat yourself moment.
Presented by Cedar Sinai.
Shifty work into the box. And across, it's in! Oh, it's LaRue!
It's a dream return! Welcome to Casual FC, an Angel City preview pod. I'm your host, Mario Salazar, with the amazing yet slightly glutenated co-host, Angela Morales.
Yeah, so for everybody who doesn't know, I have a gluten intolerance. I cannot get diagnosed as celiac, but I basically am one. And I got glutened at a place that I shouldn't have been glutened at. So hooray!
It's
Thanks, Santa Barbara.
It's that sneak gluten they'll get you in there.
Cross-contamination, man.
Jeez. Well, you know what?
Yeah.
You know what that means? I think that just means we need to go back to Open Face in
100%.
in West Adams. That place was delicious.
Yes, I've been thinking about that place lately. We definitely need to go back.
If anyone is ever in the West Adams neighborhood, there's a place called Open Face. It does Scandinavian open face sandwiches. It is amazing.
It's amazing, and the owners are fantastic, and it's a wonderfully put together operation. Definitely go.
Yes, but back to what we were talking about. We're still alive, baby.
Let's
Woo!
go.
Let's go. Angel City is still in it. Race to the playoff chaos is full force insanity.
Yeah, so on the last episode of Angel City Football Club, we took on the Houston Dash in Houston at Shell Energy Stadium. The game was unfortunately broadcast on CBS Sports, so like nobody could watch it. Mario, how did you watch the game?
I watched the game through Slack updates for the first 60 minutes through Slack updates. And then I heard radio for the rest of it, mainly because I was picking up food for the kids.
I was actually up in the Central Coast. Eva played at a winery outside of Paso Robles. So I, air quotes, watched the game via Twitter and texts with you and our friend of the pod, Richie. We just were mostly screaming. And no one could update Twitter fast enough. Like, we ended up going to dinner to grab some barbecue after the gig was over, and it was funny because I'm just sitting there like, I'm so sorry, just like refresh trying to, and it was like goal scored, nobody knew who, and I'm like, somebody tell me. And I got there, so we won. We brought home those 3 points.
Much needed 3 points.
Man, what a game. So Houston scored in the 44th minute in the first half. So we've been there before. We know what to do. We know what needed to happen. According to Becky, at the half, they talked about understanding like what happens when you're down 1-0, where like you get in your head too much, and like she basically just said we had to calm down and we had to remember to play our game. And in the second half, that's exactly what they did. They came out, played really well for the first 20 some minutes of the second half, and then as subs were being made, Alyssa Thompson came in like the 62nd or the 65th minute. I don't remember. I think it was 65th minute.
65th, because I think it was right away.
Yeah. And within 3 minutes, she scored the equalizer off an assist from Sav. So like already
So,
we're back in it.
and the reason I know that I was following the game on Slack for the first 60 or so minutes was that right when I got into my car and iHeartRadio started to play, I hear Alyssa Thompson on a breakaway and goal. Literally, like as soon as my phone was able
Immediately.
to connect.
That's amazing. So we go, like, we equalize, we're playing, we're doing the thing. Subs are made here and there, whatnot. In the 90th or 91st minute, so 90th minute plus the first minute of stoppage time, another amazing boot, like a long ball from Angelina Anderson, gets the ball up the field. It gets passed to Alyssa. She passes it out to Katie Johnson, to Kjo, who then immediately sends a rocket to Savannah McCaskill, who's tearing down the pitch and scores probably the easiest goal she's scored all season, all Angel City tenure at this
Yeah.
point. The most beautiful goal, like in front of, like, she scores on the same side as our bench. They go bonkers. Like everybody is just losing their mind. And 2.5 minutes later, they called the game. Like we won.
Yeah.
Just like that. No big
Just
deal.
like that. That the let's see, what is this? The 20 some odd minutes from the Thompson goal where we equalized it were some nerve-wracking.
Nerve-wracking.
Just going up into the half and being down 1-0 and then starting and then not scoring for another 20 from there. It's just crazy nerve-wracking. But then you tie and you're excited and you're back in this, but you also know that tie is not going to be enough.
Right. And you also know that the other team needs to also win the game. Like there was a lot on the line this weekend and they pulled through and it was absolutely fantastic. Like the thought process of the team being full of playmakers who at any given point can lead the team to a win was evident this weekend.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, and Angelina had 9 saves. All of them great. Like insane.
Amazing. I honestly, she's been, as the opportunities that she's had, she has come through and she's nailed it. And I just want to keep seeing more of her on there.
Yeah. I really fully believe that she's the future of this team.
So,
and that's in no offense to Dee, but I know that we're on borrowed time.
Yes. And I think it's always good to prep for the future before it's too late.
The future comes. Yeah,
before the future comes.
Yeah.
So like Dee has been great with the team. She's been solid for, that having that first year as our keeper and what she's done this year. There have been a little slip ups here and there, but I think it's not so much, there's been the issues with Dee, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's had their opinion about Dee's performance and whatnot. And she's done an amazing job.
I think too, like last season, she had to carry so much of the defense on her back.
Oh yeah.
And this season, she hasn't had to, and it's probably been a really nice break.
Yeah. But I think this is the better of the two outcomes, right? One, you're either the keeper that is on their downhill trajectory and you're just kind of falling apart, which I don't think this is what it is, and I don't really see it. I think it's more of having Angelina stepping up at the moment she's been given and taking the reins and saying look, I'm here and I can do this, and just being given the opportunity. And you just kind of keep getting those opportunities if you keep showing up for it.
Absolutely.
So we've got much needed points. Like we were saying, we needed these 6 points for these last 2 games desperately. If we would have won
against Orlando.
Yes. If we would have won against Orlando and this one, we would have been pretty much set. We still would have had to have an outcome, but we're golden. We are flying high. and the just no points, all the points dropped basically. Where we were really going into we're still going into all of this very much in we need every single point we can get. So let's go into the standings. Before I get into the standings, I got a little small gripe with the NWSL here. So prior to the Orlando match, or the week of that match, right? The of all the matches, they put out this tweet about, or like they put out the tweet and then like Meg Linehan like quote tweets it or whatever. Everybody did. Yeah. Everybody picked it up. But they're like, there's this crazy 729 outcomes possible this weekend that will affect the table. Okay, granted, I did not catch it right away. And then I finally looked it up. It's just a straight up freaking permutation calculation. It's not a big fucking deal. Like, every single week has 729 possible outcomes. This past week had 729 possible outcomes. This weekend on decision day will have 729 possible outcomes. It's not a big deal. They made it such a big deal. Like, this is the first time ever. Bro. Like, no, okay, they didn't say it's the first time ever, but or anything like that. They just stated what it was. But everybody started picking it up like it was this amazing thing. And in my head, I was like, oh, they're like calculating with KC at Kansas City not already being eliminated, so their outcome doesn't matter to the larger thing and blah blah blah. Yeah, no, it's just straight up 3 to the power of 6.
Yeah,
you know, 3 outcomes per match, 6 matches. 3 to the power of 6 is 729. So if you want to know how many outcomes there possibly are coming in on decision day on Sunday, there are 729 possible outcomes. With all that being said, currently we are tied.
Back to the regularly scheduled program.
Currently we're tied in 8th place with 28 points. Tied with Orlando. So every time we go back and we think about where did we lose the match, guess what? We lost against Orlando and now we're still tied with them. So
yep,
we're tied with them and we have one less goal in our goal differential. We actually both have negatives, but Orlando has a -2. We have a -3. So we've been talking about it. We need every single point we can get. And I mentioned it in the last pod and probably in the pod before that. We need to go undefeated in 5. So we had this amazing run where Becky could do no wrong seemingly, and we did not lose in, what was it, 11 matches. And you know what, we lost. It happens. Was it ideal that we lost when we did? Not really, but 11 is an amazing stat on its own.
Oh, absolutely. And like I said it, I think last episode, if it had to happen, it happened at in the right game.
Yeah. So with that, we need to start a new undefeated streak, and it needs to be 5. And those 5 are going to take us straight to the championship. What? 1 down, 4 more to go. Let's go.
Let's go. And the thing is, too, like right now, our record, we've got 7 wins, 7 losses, and 7 draws. As far as I'm concerned, it's lucky sevens going into the last weekend. I tweeted it. We got this. Like it's in the bag. It's ours.
Yeah. Like we were talking before we started recording that, like, yes, crazy that we're in the same situation where we're heading off into decision day, where it's a must-win situation, but also we don't control our destiny. So it's like a must-win plus other things need to work out for us. Last year, I was wishful, hopeful, but not entirely confident with what we were doing heading into that last match. This year, I'm still hopeful and wishful, but I have that feeling that we can pull this off. This team, this squad can pull it off.
There's actually a sense of like confidence and trust that they can pull this off.
Yes. And that confidence and trust wasn't there at the beginning or even up to like halfway through the season. You know, it's very much a a tweet era thing. So, yes, still not in charge of our own destiny, but we're still not out of this. So here, I know in the past episodes I've been going on these crazy rants, and honestly, I could have been wrong half the time because there were so many things that needed to happen. But in this one, I feel pretty confident, and it's pretty straightforward because it's the last game, right? It's
Yeah, there's not as much to decipher.
I only figured out a couple of these 729 outcomes that can possibly
The
happen this
important
weekend,
ones.
but it's the important ones. So, in order for us to make 6th place, so to squeak into the playoffs and kind of make our first playoff berth, ACFC needs to win to make it to the playoffs, and Chicago need to win or draw. Or Houston need to win or draw. Or Kansas City needs to win. Any one of those outcomes with our win will put us in 6th place.
Dang.
And then it gets easier from there. Also more improbable from there. We will get bumped up to 5th place if you go a pick 2 of any one of those 3 outcomes, right? If Chicago win or draw, if Houston win or draw, if Kansas City wins, any combo of those 2 puts us in 5th place. Not a huge difference between 5th and 6th. It just means we'll be playing someone slightly different in the table.
Right.
And now the one that I've been kind of pushing every now and then, and it's still a possibility. Like I said, each place gets more improbable. We can make it to 4th place in this topsy-turvy world of pure insanity of decision day. If all 3 of these happen, Chicago win or draw, Houston win or draw, and Kansas City win, we're in 4th place. And you know what 4th place means? A home playoff match in the first round. It'll be the only...
all of these are dependent on us winning, right? Like obviously we have to win regardless, but
Absolutely. If we tie or lose, like none of this means any shit. So like I would have done all this. So Becky and Allie, Paige, MA,
Sarah, Megan, Jasmine.
I know you guys listen to us. You guys, probably play this in the locker room while you're training out in the Million Oaks Valley. Just know this. I've put a lot of time in figuring out all these things. So please just give me the win. And, I'm pretty sure the rest will figure itself out.
It will. I have faith in that.
And so all of that just brings us to one of the most important match that we have all season so far. We're going to be leading into our look up of Angel City versus Portland Thorns. This will be the 4th matchup this year because of the stupid Challenge Cup that makes us play a billion times with everybody on the West Coast. We will be playing at home in BMO Stadium, which is amazing. It's also going to be Fan Appreciation Day and Indigenous People Celebration Day, which I just found out like today. Didn't realize that was already.
I think they just announced it today.
Yeah, they just announced it. Yeah, so it's always been Fan Appreciation Day because it's the last home game, but it's also the Indigenous People Celebration Day, and that is amazing. I love that. It's also going to be a full-on fan fest.
A brunch, an
brunch
early
fan
morning brunch fan fest. So
yes.
Get there early. We'll talk about that a little bit more later. But yeah, get there early. Be ready to be there all day.
Yes. And then, so just to reiterate, if you're new to the NWSL, if you're new to the way all of this kind of works out, this Sunday is also known as Decision Day. Every single team will be playing at once. So all 6 matches happen concurrently. Everybody will be playing at 2 p.m. Pacific for us, right? So they play...
No stress.
No stress. So it's one of those things where like the people that know will have one eye, like us, will have one eye on the field and one eye on the phone on like FOTMob or something.
Yeah,
Keeping
bring
an eye on those
extra
scores.
battery and a charging cable. Like we will be. I will try to update our socials as like I don't know if that's going to even be possible. Like
Yeah, yeah.
a girl can hope.
All right, let's get into it. What are we looking at for this?
Okay.
No big deal last game.
Yeah, no big deal last game. We've got this, but like one I want to say the craziest thing, and it's definitely not, but that one of the biggest things is that this is not a throwaway game for Portland. They're looking to win the Shield, and if they beat us, there's a bigger chance that they win the regular season. Like it's just a tough game.
If they beat us, they actually do win. So
Yeah.
Portland is in the lead right now, and so they need this win to win the Shield. They're in first place. San Diego's in second. Both of them have already clinched the playoffs. Crazy that no one else has clinched the playoffs up to this decision day. So
Yeah.
3, 4, 5, and 6 are all up for grabs, basically. But yes, they are going to be going for the Shield because the Shield has not been clinched. They've clinched. They've clinched either first or second already, so they have a bye. They're not playing the first round of the playoffs, but the Shield has not been decided, and it's going up to this last game, which is insane. So, of course,
if the Wave fans, if they know what's good for them, they will be cheering for Angel City for this win if they want the Shield. Like, we need our fan base and San Diego's.
So since we're definitely, most likely, probably, hopefully, crossing my fingers and toes, going to beat Portland, Portland fans are going to be Louisville fans because they're going to be pushing for Louisville to beat San Diego because if they both lose, Portland still wins the Shield.
Exactly. So
It's
that's
like the most anticlimactic version of to win the Shield.
Yeah, so it's going to be really interesting. Portland has won the Shield a couple times before. They know what it takes. And I think that's the biggest thing is that they have such a big playmaking ability because their roster has longevity. They've been around, their team has been, like the major roster members have been there for a long time. And everyone they've added, like Sophia Smith and players along those lines, like everybody is just at that same level and they have a very cohesive unit on the pitch. For those who didn't see, Sophia came back from her MCL sprain. I know when it comes to knees, there's a lot of 3-letter abbreviations. Your MCL is the ligament that supports the inside of your knee, like the side closest to like the middle line of your body. So it's a very important ligament for soccer and moving your leg in specific directions. But that's a big thing to come back from. And she is taped up. I don't know if you saw her.
It looked like she had like an entire sock.
Yeah, like a big old white sock around her knee, which is also like protective padding and stuff like that. So who knows how much time she'll see. You know, we'll see if she's playing as needed or.
I mean, you sent me the video of her coming onto the field, and then I replied with my favorite, one of my favorite GIFs. I have it saved because I use it quite a lot, and I said, this is great for her. Love that Sophia's back so quickly, and it wasn't anything too detrimental to her.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I sent you the GIF of John Lackey during during the Angels World Series run, where he yells "fun" straight into the camera while on the mound. And if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. If not, take a look at our socials and you'll see it.
Yeah, so I just looked it up. Sophia only played 7 minutes. I really hope that's all she's gotten her for our game. Like, no offense. She's a wonderful player. Most other times I would love to watch her play a full 90, not Sunday. No, ma'am. And if and when we make the playoffs, if we get matched up against them, again, no thank you. With that said, that's my talking points on Portland as a whole. Like they're gonna come in and they know what it takes to get there. So don't be surprised if they pull out all the stops. Like they're prepared for this. Their coaching staff is, their players are, and we need to be prepared for that type of mentality as fans and as a team. But yeah, I think I have full confidence that we can pull this off. We've beaten them before, both at home and in Oregon. So let's
Yes,
go.
it's possible. It's doable.
Yeah.
We know what needs to be done, and we've done it before. So let's do it again.
Very much so. So when it comes to Angel City, I couldn't really pick specific players to pull out that we need to watch for them or anything like that, because it's going to take every single person on the team, whether they're on the pitch or not, to get this win.
From training, from
yeah,
just confidence boosting, just hyping your own team. Everybody is going to be essential.
Every single person, coaching staff, training staff, front office, like everybody has to be locked in this week, including us. Like the 12th player of Angel City is our fan base. It's so incredibly important. Like I am fully counting on the fact that we're selling out and it's going to be packed at BMO. It's going to be loud as shit. And I'm sure it's freaking pumped.
I'm sure it's sold out. This is definitely going to be a 22,000 strong matchup at BMO, because I tried hooking up a old coworker of mine with a service executive with the team on ticket sales, and trying to get them to do a group sale for them, because they were going to buy, I think they wanted like 14 tickets or something like that. It was going to be a big group, and there weren't any at all. And this was
Are you serious?
This was over a month ago. And then I went, as a season ticket holder, we have that season ticket holder
there's
portal.
nothing.
There is nothing.
Yeah, because I tried to get a couple tickets for my friend that's going to be in town, and I was like, there's nothing.
Nothing. So it is going to be 22,000 strong.
Yeah, absolutely. And as a fan base, like we show up big and loud and strong, but there are always these lulls throughout the game. And like, we can't do that on Sunday. We have to show up and stay invested and stay rowdy. Like, there are only a handful of teams who pack out their stadiums every game, or, like the Rain for Pino's last game, they had to keep opening up sections.
Yeah, they broke a record, right? They were like at 30-something thousand, yeah.
Which absolutely that should always happen. They should just keep it open for all, like, you know what I mean? Don't limit how many sales or ticket sales you can have. That just seems counterintuitive to growing the sport, but that's a different conversation for the off season. But there really are only a handful of teams in the league right now who show up the way Angel City does. Portland is one of them. Like, I want no disrespect to their fan base, because they show up and they've been showing up for a long time. But they get loud, we can get louder. Like, you have these players who deserve to be playing in front of packed stadiums, and we've been able to provide that environment. This time we need to be a little more menacing. Not like men's soccer violent levels, but like an intimidating fan base.
I want to hear. I know that some of the chants to some people can get pretty wordy. that the supporters are chanting, but I mean, that's just the passion that they have, and
absolutely
it comes out that way, the drums and the words and everything like that. Mm-hmm. But I want a beautiful, like, chef's kiss, like, call and response ACFC throughout the entire stadium.
Give it to me in my veins. Like, give me the level of just accuracy when it comes to a chant in the whole stadium. I cannot wait for the day that occurs. And I really hope it's Sunday. That would
Yes.
be, I will probably cry. Like it, it's gonna be freaking bonkers. And
So
like,
I'm gonna clip that and make it a little like Instagram TikTok video and be like,
and
everybody
I'm
needs to share
so,
this. Let's get this going. Let's get an ACFC call and
yeah, like
response going.
even just before, like when they're getting out on the pitch to kick off, like just start it there and see how long we can take it because it's one of those like everybody has to be all in for 90 plus minutes. The team itself has absolutely bought into the philosophy that it takes all of them and that any one person can be the game changer. That was evident this weekend in the game against Houston. Like they knew that no matter what, somebody had to keep the spark going. And if that means you pass the torch to the person who has the energy, then you do. And the way I see it is that as the fan base, we have to carry the torch and they have to just do their job. Like we have to maintain that energy for them the whole game because as it was coined so loudly and such on such a repetitive level in the 2019 Women's World Cup, to score and to be great, you need an individual moment of brilliance. This is also something that Eva's mom has like collected as one of the things. It's like you just need an individual moment of brilliance. So it's in the vernacular of my like circle. But that's the thing is that those moments are brought on by the people who think they can come in and make it happen at any given point, which this team believes in. And collectively, we should too. Like, we have to believe in them with the same ferocity that they believe in themselves. With no, like, there can't be any doubt in this stadium. It's one of those, everybody needs to walk in like, we're walking out of here with 3 points today.
Yes.
So
We're walking out with 3 points and a playoff berth.
And a playoff spot.
That's what we're
Exactly. So if you'll be there on Sunday, get hydrated, bring snacks for Fan Fest. Like, there'll be food trucks. Get yourself ready because we're going to give Portland hell for 90 minutes at minimum, probably more. But yeah, that's my who to watch, what's important. We just got to win and we got to show up as a fan base for our team.
Yes, definitely.
So overall, the history between these two teams is a lot, given the fact that we have the Challenge Cup experience. Rest in peace, Challenge Cup. Thanks, but no thanks.
Thanks, but good riddance.
Yeah. You need to go and work yourself out, and then you can come back when you're better and don't put players and teams in harm's way. But overall, our record with Portland, we have won twice. We've had 2 draws, and Portland has won 3 times. So obviously, we need to level it out a little bit and win to make it 3 wins to 3 wins. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because this season, so far, we've had the draw against them in the regular season, and then we split in the Challenge Cup. So might as well.
Let's make it a 3-win and 3-win tie, and then you know what? We'll get that extra win if needed in the actual playoffs.
Absolutely. We'll go up. We'll go one up.
Great. All right. So we went through this one pretty quickly because it's pretty straightforward and it's pretty simple in what needs to get done. Simple, but it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
We need a win. We need a couple results to go our way, which are very much in the realm of possibility. So let's go. And if the results don't go our way, but we have a great dominant performance for our last match, the interim Becky Tweed gamble is just solidified, and it was worth it, and it brought us from the brink of, not the brink, we were dead last at one point.
Yeah, the depths
Yes.
of the standing.
So
yeah, and I
if
will
there's
say,
win, draw, or loss, if there isn't a contract for Becky with an inked pen a quill and a dipping inkwell ready for her to sign. I don't know what's going on, but it's been a great. She's been a great inspiration to the team, a great inspiration to how they've been able to gel. It honestly was like a freaking light switch as soon as she came in. So let's keep it going.
And when that tenure changed and Becky took over, I said that my hope for the team was to at least get to the point of last season.
Yes.
And we're sitting at that point right now with a lot more motivation and a lot more momentum behind us than we did last season. It's not just grasping at straws where granted, we need other teams to win and lose and do all the things they do in order for us to make the playoffs, similar to the way we did last season.
Yeah, but it was such a tight table that there's such a tight table that there's multiple variations of what can happen. I think last year there was really only one. Like we were waiting on one team.
Yeah.
So. All right.
Oh man, I'm so proud of this team.
I am. I'm 100% proud. Okay, so next match, October 15th, Decision Day, will be Angel City FC versus Portland Thorns FC. We're going to be at home, BMO Stadium, 2 p.m. Like we said, Decision Day means every single team is going to be playing all at once. So 2 p.m. And that means breakfast burrito time. There's going to be a fan fest, and it's going to start at 10 a.m. So
get your ass there early.
Get it there early. Get there early. Get your face tattoos, your face paint, your drawings, your postcard that you want to write. Like, Allie, give me your jersey. I love you.
This feels
get there.
Very like Parks and Rec. Treat yourself. It's like fan fest. Treat yourself. Face tattoos. Treat yourself. Burritos, treat yourself. Like, that's the level. Bring your food, bring whatever you need to get through Fan Fest.
Yes.
It's our treat yourself moment.
Oh yes, it is very much so. So 10 a.m. Get yourself there early, enjoy the festivities. With a 2 p.m. game, gates always open at 90 minutes beforehand, so 12:30 will be when BMO opens. You can get inside, you can get yourself some beers on the inside, use the toilets when nobody's there, all that good stuff.
Really the best part about getting in early.
Exactly. No lines. And no porta potties outside. And so if you can't make the game, I am sorry, and I wish you luck in trying to find tickets to this game, because it's going to be electric and it's going to be fun. But if you can't make it, get yourself to a war, get yourself with some friends, just order some pizzas, get together in someone's house. It's going to be on Paramount Plus, streaming in the US. No more goddamn CBS Sports for any of this.
And for those of you who are going to be watching from home and want to watch multiple games and stress yourself out to no end, the NWSL is streaming all of the games on Sunday on Paramount. No CBS, no other garbage. Everything will be live on Paramount Plus. Get your iPads, your phones, your tablets, your TVs,
log into every device, have them set up everywhere, and do your own red zone. Have one person switching the main TV, and then you'll never miss anything. If you're international, you can always watch it on nwslsoccer.com. I know a lot of people that had to VPN for this last game because of the stupid CBS and sports thing. I don't mind if it's on CBS. Great national exposure. CBS Sports.
Exactly. Nobody has it.
You already made everybody else go through a paywall with Paramount Plus. Why give them another freaking paywall?
Why do another one?
And honestly, if you're on the road, if you don't have a place to sit down and watch this, I cannot recommend it enough, because I have been doing it since this entire season.
Mm-hmm. Same.
My brain is probably not the sharpest, but I'm going to say it was also last season.
Yeah.
The iHeartRadio broadcast has been amazing, and we keep talking about how amazing it is, and literally half the games that are away, one of us or both of us have listened to it on iHeartRadio, and we just haven't given them a shout out. But Isaac, Lowenkron and Tracy Bailey being the announcers for these games on iHeart just make things better.
Yeah.
We always talk about
call.
the call is amazing. Isaac's frenetic energy, it makes you feel like you're there and you're watching it, and I love it. Although
his call of the last game, though, legitimately, when I was watching the highlights, got me super in my feels. I teared up because after Sav's goal, and once the final whistle blew, he just was like, "There will be tomorrow," and I was like, "Oh no!" Like, here comes
tears.
the waterworks.
Here comes the waterworks.
It was absolutely beautiful, beautiful call of those goals.
As much as we appreciate and love the fact that it's on Paramount Plus and it's available to stream from wherever you can, those are going to be, in a sense, national broadcasters. They're going to be somewhat unbiased when it comes to their call of the game. iHeartRadio is nothing but biased. It's nothing but Angel City, repping Angel City. So if you really honestly, I wouldn't be past throwing on the Paramount Plus and then doing a little syncing,
muting it and
syncing it with some iHeartRadio.
100%.
I think they need to do what MLS does with Apple TV, where you can actually listen to local radio broadcasts as the alternate audio.
Yeah, MLB does that too.
I will 100% support that for the next media rights deal that the NWSL is going through.
Yeah, I would say they did just sign that big 4-year deal. So just FYI, this would be great.
Yes.
Get our
wish list item.
Folks.
And let's keep Isaac and Tracy on that, please.
Mm-hmm. Hope they enjoy it as much as we enjoy them. That's for sure.
Yes.
All right, everybody. If you made it this far and stuck with us through standings and me waxing poetic about the importance of fans and gushing over how much we love the iHeart folks, hit the subscribe button on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to us. Check out casualfc.com for any additional links that you might need. If you have somebody who wants to listen but doesn't know how, that's the place to get them links to do so. If you haven't already, follow us on social media at casualfcpod on Instagram and the 3Ts, Twitter, Threads, and TikTok. Tell your friends about us. We hear it brings good luck. We've said it for the last 2 months. It's doing wonders. So just tell people, just talk about it at the grocery store, at Starbucks, whatever. If you want to see our almost Eastbay catalog worth of merch and upcoming merch ideas, make sure to go to shop.casualfc.com for all that good stuff. And like I said, way more to come. We're just kind of getting started on making our crazy ideas come to life. This entire podcast being one of them. And if you feel so inclined and want to help support the pod by buying us a coffee, check out any of the links in our social media bios or go to buymeacoffee.com/casualfcpod.
Thanks everyone for listening. Shout out to Christiana, who's been a helper with some of the Descript podcast editing, the feedback and stuff on the forums, and she is a Portland Thorns fan, so this one's getting tagged on her. She's getting tagged in it. Yeah. Good luck.
Definitely. And quick shout out at the very last minute to everyone who has listened thus far, especially the Crawford family. Big, huge, gigantic supporters of the podcast. And Josie is now podcast queen. We've shouted her out a couple times. She had a little guest interview situation at a fan fest and wound up on Paige Nielsen's podcast. She's becoming somewhat of a celebrity. I mean,
her celebrity status went up also
it
because
went through the roof.
through no idea of my own, I got contacted. It just things happened, things were put in motion, and I got in contact with Josie's mom, which I did not know was Josie's mom at the time, to have a kid walk out with the players and just happened to be Josie. I didn't put, when she told me, oh, her name's Josie, blah, 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 I didn't put it two and two together. I wasn't at that was the match that I didn't get to go to, the Orlando match. So like I was doing a lot of things on my phone, like while I was out and about. And then like sometime during our conversation, her mom goes, "Do you know Angela?"
Yeah, Josie was like, "Wait, is Mario the same Mario that's on your podcast?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "Oh, okay." And you hadn't told me that this had happened yet, that
Oh,
you were
no.
the catalyst. And she had just come up to, like, because her dad was sitting up with Eva and I. We had an extra ticket. And Alyssa and Josie were sitting down in their section with a friend and her daughter as well. So like it was just the best.
Yes.
It was so good.
So Josie, I hope you had a blast walking out with the team. I can't wait to hear who you walked out with because I didn't follow up yet. But yeah, you're becoming a little rising star, and we're all here for it.
Yep. I can't wait till she's on the pod. It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah, absolutely. But thank you to everyone who's listened. This has been like the most fun 5 months. This is like our last regular season episode.
It is the last
So,
regular season, and you know what?
Big whoa
Yes.
feeling.
Exactly. And we will be back, whether it's being back for a playoff
A
preview
playoff run.
or
Yeah.
for the playoff run, or just being back and kind of looking back at the amazingness and the ups and downs of this year. But we'll be back, and we'll be
we've got
here
a lot of
throughout the off
ideas
season.
for the off season.
There's a Google Doc going, so it's the longest outro we've recorded, but
Absolutely.
thank you,
Thanks,
everyone.
everybody. See you Sunday.
Bye.